Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to my channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I like to look at everything, but we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play those karmic themes to help you understand why your person's doing what they're doing and why you're attracting that person into your life. What is the spiritual significance? Why do we want to even know the spiritual significance? Well, everything that happens in the spiritual realm will eventually happen in the physical realm. So if you understand the psychological and the emotional aspects of your relationship, then you're able to change and shape shift your reality because there's many different realities that play out at one time. Your level of consciousness depends on the experiences that you've gone through because those experiences are the ones that create your core beliefs. So understanding what your core beliefs are, and many times what we'll realize is that we grew out of a way of thinking. And for whatever reason, I feel like you're in separation from someone that used to think a certain way. And I don't know why I think it's almost like about religion and now is looking at it through a completely different perception. And I think it's because of you. So maybe this person was, again, was very religious, grew up and it doesn't mean that but they grew up in a very religious home. They were religious at one time. They moved away from religion because they didn't resonate with it. However, it was the only belief that they ever had. And I feel like you're in connection with someone that's changing their belief systems, and within that, it's changing them. Now, I don't know why I say what I say before. It's again, but sometimes spirit gives us a nugget and we see how is that playing out within your cards. What is it? What is the relevance to it? And what does it mean for you? And again, what you can do to shape shift your reality to create balance. And that doesn't all the time mean get this person back because everyone has free will. What it means is to avoid negative karmic consequences. That is what's most important because then, when you wind up getting baggage from a connection that you really haven't healed from, it winds up playing out in other connections. And that's why it's really important. Hmm. So anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you can find in the description box, such as my social goats link. Everybody that knows that I'm going to be offering $25 coaching, group coaching is group coaching through or with Oracle systems, through my Oracle and through, again, card pulls on social goats. It's a way that I can stay a little bit more proactive within your healing and help you and on a whole because I know a lot of people can't really afford the coaching, though I do offer one-on-one coaching packages. And if you get one of those, you get actually a free Oracle system. Today, I actually have my book with me, and you see the system comes like this and more. What's so great about this system is in the beginning of it, it teaches you how to use the cards. And then what you'll see is all these different oracle spreads. So for healing trauma, for um, you know, uh, confronting past life uh, and mending the soul, breaking bad habits, just to assist in resolving issues between two people. I mean, all different diversified spreads, anything from clearing ancestral trauma to your own karma to balancing your energies. And then what you'll see is every single card has like the description, but then there's also a healing modality. And the healing modality again tells you what to do. And so this workbook actually doesn't just do shadow healing. It teaches you how to develop your psychic readings and how to use the cards for your own healing, as well as to do psychic readings and to deepen meditation and reflection practices. And I always like to use my cards to give us the energy of whatever it is that we're dealing with. What's the underlying energy? What's driving everybody to do what they do? So let's see. Again, and if you forget anything of any importance, including the word of the video, will be in that description box. All right. Let's see what it is. Oh, and if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. And by the way, what you'll notice is you might have been on this, like watching me for like 4 months, a year. I've been going back and like clicking new winners from like 9 months ago, 8 months ago, 7 months ago. I'm going to be doing a lot more live readings on here. Um, During that time, my husband passed away. So, I was doing videos, but and I was checking the videos, but I noticed I must have missed a lot. We're not as present when we go through traumatic experiences. I'm still healing, every day. And it's almost like harder once a person has been gone for a year because your brain is no longer telling you, wait, they're just away on vacation. I think that's what, your mind will tell you when, you lose someone. But as time goes on, you realize that that person really is never coming back. And it's almost like, you think about it, and if you think about it for too long, you start to cry. So you try not to think about it and you distract yourself with anything. But God only knows what, how things come out. I mean, I think that I've, burnt more dinners in the past year, forgotten about, even just, stupid things you forget. You're not as present. That's what happens with any type of trauma, you know. All right, so let's see what the underlining energy is. It's intuition. That is the underlining energy. So I feel like, you and your person actually have a very good connection, intuition. Like you always know when this person is near you. They always know when you're near them. I mean, you don't even need to be near them, meaning energetically, you're thinking about them, that emotionally. And I feel like for a very long time, you were connected to this person. This person's starting to feel like you are pulling away from them. So there is this energy of that, which is what I feel like is prompting this whole God, looking for God. It's partially it is you, because again, this person sees that you're like kind of disgusted with them. And so when a person knows that, somebody else that they care about is disgusted with them, well, it makes them feel very uneasy. It gives them a lot of anxiety. And that's the worst type of energy too for this person, because they don't like for you to look at them and then go, ew, is I think everybody's worst nightmare if you care about someone or you like someone in that way emotionally. And it's like this person can feel through the intuition because you've always had that. But they used to feel the love, they used to feel the nurturing, they used to feel, and now it's almost like what they see is like you're disgusted. So they have a lot of anxiety because they know that they disappointed you. So really that's the underlining energy. The intuition is that this person's tapped into you, know that you're disgusted. Know that you're disgusted because you're disappointed. And they have a lot of anxiety. So they're trapped in that. But let's see what this person did and why they did it and how they feel about you. Because a lot of times people get in their own way and they just do because they have trauma, right? So let's see, what did they do? This person like is just not, I feel like they're just on a lower vibration. They're unaware. They were unaware of who you were. They're unaware of what it takes to be in a equal give and take, reciprocity type relationship. And really, I feel like they never really tried. Really, that's what you saw, that they never tried to even find out about you, put in any effort whatsoever. It was like they were unaware of your feelings, they were unaware of what it took to actually be in a relationship. That's how you saw them. And it made you tired, and it made you tired because I feel like, and weary is like almost like you needed to rest if this person was draining. And it's because when you're with a person that's on a lower vibration and that doesn't show up for you, you're gonna feel like you can't relax to be your own self. You're gonna feel like you need to do their job for you, which is telling this person how to treat you all the time, because if you don't tell them, they're not going to consider you at all. So it's almost like having to be with someone that you always have to tell them like how to treat you is annoying. And I'm saying, like, if God forbid there's a death, why should you have to tell this person to show up and be there and show some sort of emotion or caring? Why should you have to say that that bothers you, that they don't do that? It's like almost like they know, they just choose not to even consider, like your feelings is what it feels like. So it becomes like almost like you become so lonely, just so lonely, and like feeling like you're not really in a relationship with somebody that really like cares. They don't care about building a relationship. They don't care about building intimacy. They're almost treating you as if you're like a thing. And why I say that is like because obviously they want the physical connection. They want, they want what you could do for them. And I say that because it's like they're reckless, they're thoughtless. They're thoughtless with you, again, because they don't consider you, but they're also reckless within themselves, where they tend to, again, be self-righteous. And so you say, well, what's the whole point of the connection? Like, what is this person going to do? What are their true intentions, the hidden truths? Because just because a person acted like this doesn't mean that they don't have feelings, and doesn't mean that they do either, but it's great to first see, well, where are they? What is their true? I don't react when people mention you. So they're not emotionally intelligent, and they're, again, still in their ego. And they're still in their ego because, again, they know that you're already feel disappointed in them and that you probably are disgusted with them. So the last thing that they're going to want to do is act as if, you know, they still care about you, because they care a lot about looking, and you would be rejecting them. So this person, I'm afraid to contact you. And that's more like it. So because they already know that, you feel disgusted by them because they acted like they didn't care. They didn't put any effort in. I left you before you could leave me. So it's like they never gave anything. It's like they wanted you to give everything. And then what happened is they could tell by how little you gave back, which they weren't going to get anything. See that they just wanted to be in this player game, meaning where they can be like one and done, like here for a good time, not a long time. They weren't looking for any type of relationship. So this person would give you breadcrumbs and was watching to see whether you would give them more. They knew that you were not, by how little you gave. So they were like, that's fine. I'm in a different headspace. I'm gonna go and, you know, hang out and make myself feel good, because I know that you're only gonna leave me. So again, I care more about my image than, anything else, because they didn't even tell you, hey, listen, I only want to be here for a good time, not a long time. This person normally lies. The thing is that they knew you were onto them. that, hey, you don't really want a relationship, like you by how little you're giving me. They still again want you, but again, we see this as more of a there's a they're still attracted to you. It's again they were always attracted to you. But if a person is running around with so many different people and not giving you any energy, it's because they don't want to build an emotional connection. And that's what you don't want. You don't want to be in a relationship. But the problem is that there is still is this very strong ESP connection. So it's almost like this person feels like a soulmate. They feel like a twin flame almost because you feel their energy. But then they're so disappointing in the fact that their actions don't match the energy. And so I feel like this person didn't know who you were until look what fell out, laziness. And that's exactly what it was, laziness. And part of this is like I feel like they were spoiled. You might think, oh, they were abused. It's like, I feel like they were spoiled by like somebody. So again, and they could have grown up with one parent that was abusive and then or not available or not there, and then the mother just spoiled them. It's like where I don't have to do anything. They're lazy. They're lazy, and that was the whole problem. It's like they didn't want to give because they feel like, why should I? I don't really have to. It's like, who are you? They didn't know who you were, meaning they didn't think that you were a soulmate or anything like that. It's like the pretty face is a dime a dozen. It takes a lot more. The connection. But they undervalued the connection. But I feel like that's because they're not spiritual. They're more like, again, coming from that survival perspective, which is all about the physical realm, which is, all about themselves, all about like, what they can get, not what they can give. And this is what you saw, you know? I feel like this person has a lot of respect for you. They knew that what it is. It's like now they're getting impatient. Like I feel like there's a part of this person that's impatient, but it's again like it's gonna require like you forgiving them. And it's like that's another whammy for this person, meaning they're so prideful and they have such a big ego. It's like, I don't know whether you're gonna forgive me. And because I took so long to like come back, and I feel like they were trying not to ask for forgiveness. They weren't taking responsibility for what they did. They didn't think whatever that they did was that really big of a deal. It's like didn't want to be in a monogamous connection. I wanted to like play the field. And you're like, well, now that you got that, then good for you. It's like they weren't paying attention to you at all, not paying attention to your feelings, not paying attention to any of it. And this is why this person is like nervous and doesn't know, can I contact you? How are you going to approach me? Like, what are you going to say to me? Like, because they know that, they already know what they did. They know they kept you lonely. They know that they weren't there for you. They know that they gave these other, like, insignificant, whatever they were, more time and more energy. And that's why you're like, I don't want this. And that's what they feel because there's still this spiritual connection. They know you're disgusted because you're like, oh, you gave giving to everybody else, but you didn't come to me. And that what you think that you're going to come to me later on and think that I'm going to actually give you something. It's like when you did nothing to like earn that respect, didn't give any time. Really? Wow. You really think that you're something. You left it that you're like you're imbalanced. You're delusional. You're imbalanced, and they are because of their little mommy or whoever it was that spoiled them, that taught them that they don't really need to be respectful, that they don't really need to apologize, that people are going to come to them, that people are going to do for them, that they've never had to take responsibility for anything in their life. So it's like they're imbalanced because they have a distorted perception of who they are and what you were supposed to do and who you were. So that's when this what why this person knows. When it's really they're just lazy. It's like, hey, if I don't have to do it. And that's really what the problem is. You don't want to be connected to someone that's like, oh, if I have to do it. No, 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 no. You want to be with someone that says, I want to do that. I want to be there for you. Not like, oh, I have to, like you're like pulling teeth, or that they can, get out of their situation any which way that they can. You know, this person, like, again, like it's like being with them is like with someone that never shows up. It feels like rejection, even if they're with you. It's like the constant message is that, and it makes you angry. It lowers your energy. It doesn't allow you to manifest anything. It's like because you're always angry. And so then, like, that creates intimacy issues over time with the person, because intimacy at its basic level is trust, and this person never shows up because they're lazy. They didn't really feel like they had to, because, hey, when they met you, they weren't really in that mind frame, or they were, but whatever. They were wanted to play the field, but they weren't honest in the beginning. Hey, if you would have been dumb, you would have fell for that. The fact that you weren't dumb, hey, there's still that attraction. And hey, now I realize that we have this connection. It's like, and now all of a sudden they want to explore this because, hey, they already explored all of that. And like, and you're wondering, like, yeah, what else are you missing? What else do you want? It's like you're coming in, it's like acting as if you're the prize, where it's like this person isn't the prize. They would love for you to believe that they're the prize, though. So understand, it's like this person like does everything, like, again, they are stressed out. It's not like they're stressed. I feel like if anything, they're gonna need some liquid courage to come towards you. They're not gonna be able to they're not going to be able to do it on their own. They're going to like either smoke a lot or drink a lot to like even have to like make this attempt. I feel like this person has a low self-esteem, and they're again stuck in their old habits. I almost feel like you're dealing with a person that has a lot of trauma, but also like is so self-righteous and thinks, and it's because the environment taught this person that they could be, almost like be treated like a king or a queen, that they never had to take responsibility. It's not like they haven't gotten in trouble, but, it's the parents that make a person accountable in the beginning. It's like this person never had to. So, of course, they're like, well, I could try all these people. And it's like, and you're like looking for respect, and this person's like, I don't need to give respect. Well, understand like the old habit of how they deal with stress, we see, right? But underneath it all is like a lack, I feel like. And that's because if you're dating all these people, like what are you looking for? Because you're not giving anyone anything. You weren't looking for a relationship. That was your hobby, that was your interest. So, where do you put your time, your energy, your focus, and your money is what grows in your life. And so you were running around doing all that, and now you want to come into my life. And so, like, you're looking at this person, and that's why you're discussing it. And this person knows it because, hey, there was an intuition. You guys have an ESP connection through the heart and mind. There's intuition. This person knows it. And that's why they want to come towards you now, because they're like, I can't really let it go any longer. Otherwise, you're really never going to talk to me ever again. I have no choice. That's why they're the ones that are getting impatient. Like, meaning they thought that hey, maybe you would come back because, hey, they've not because that this is who you are. It's because that's what happens normally. Because again, you see how they treat people. they're not really invested in anyone except for their own needs. So, of course, this person's never really been put in this position before. So, again, they need to have that liquid courage to come towards you. And it's again, but that's just their old habit. There's part of this person that does want to change. It's not like they don't, because they see the difference between you and all those other people that they dated. It's like, unfortunately, that's the way that this person learns. They learn by like trying. And so, they always knew that you were a good thing, but they were like, I don't want to be in a settled relationship yet. I don't want to be in a monogamous relationship. I'll be with you and all these people at the same time, though, however. And you were like, no. And they didn't ask you this either. You would have gotten tricked into it if you weren't intuitive. But you were intuitive too, because you're tapped into this person the whole time. So you're like, I already know by when I ask you something, how you answer it or how you don't answer it and how you avoid. So you were able to like navigate and navigate yourself to safety, to avoiding negative karmic consequences. Because at the time, this person was completely in their ego, against self-righteous, like don't tell me can date whoever I want to date. It's like, so of course you're not going to sit there and be there and be this person's friend. I'm going to sit there and wait like a little dog by the side. No, like it's like that, but that's the energy there. Like they were trying to degrade you because guess what? They had people doing it for them, sitting there like waiting like on the sideline for this person to, okay, now I'm ready for you. Now I'm ready for you. Now I'm ready for you. Like, it's like where you're like, you're not going to degrade me. I know exactly who you are, and I'm not going to sit here. And again, when we're talking, things just come out of my mouth, and afterward, I'm not even sure why I say them. This person feels comfortable with you. It's like they wind up putting their guard down, and that's because you feel like home. There's an ESP connection, there's an intuition connection. So again, this past life connection. So in that, but it's again the whole time they felt that connection, but they still disrespected it because hey, where they were. They were like, I don't want to be in a monogamous relationship. But they weren't honest in the beginning. So it's again, if you didn't catch that, there would have been consequences. And I just repeat that again, only because know who this person is. It's like they come into your life, they give you half information. They leave things out. Just because they attracted and they realize now doesn't mean they're a different person. If they're ready to do the work, they're going to step it up. But you're the person that's going to need to be that person that is again setting the tone again. And you didn't like that. You're like, I don't want to be the person's mother or father, or please contact me. I may not respond, but knowing that you care opens my heart. Like you said, this person is like, I don't know what to do. I want to contact you. So if they contact you, you know that they're contacting you drunk or they're contacting you like hi or again where they don't care. That like it's because they down deep inside want to, but they know that they don't really deserve to really, they don't deserve your time. And they know that, and that's what they're battling with. And they're also battling with, having to be transparent, having to like really show you who they are. And so, yes, this person feels the connection, but it terrifies them. And it terrifies them because they need healing. To be honest, whenever we, wind up with someone that makes us feel so deeply, it makes us look at our life, look at what we want in life to get clear. This person wasn't looking at their life. They were in party time every day. I was going to say party time USA. Like, it's like, that's what it is. It's like this person, like again, they're gonna be patient. They're gonna be patient, and they're like, there's a part of this person that feels like because there is this connection, and of course who you are, like they still have a choice because you may be like, well, why the fuck did they think that they can come back into my life? Because of who you are, not because of who they are, because of who you are, that you give them grace because they'll be patient. They'll ask for patience, you know, because of serendipity. Again, where this person's going to try and come in at during the perfect timing. It's almost like it's how things just wind up like playing out. And it's like, and I say that because it's like this person's wish is you at this point. And when we see, look at this transformation, it's like the old them is destroyed. They're transforming. This alchemy is again the end is just the beginning where connection ended, but it's almost like they're hoping. You may be like, it's up to you. So, but this person, it's going to take a lot for you to get rid of them. Is they're going to do everything to try to make that a reality, to try to win you back. Everybody has free will. This person just wishes they can start over again. That was on top. I had to take it. I looked over and it was screaming at me. So I said, I'm going to take it. But, they wish they could go back and start all over and do things over again if they had the chance that they would. I want to get back together, but I'm afraid. It's like they're afraid that they won't do things right again. They're afraid of it all. But it's like this is what they want, and so we see it. And in the fact that we see it, we have to say, you know, this is a collective reading. Some of you will take the person back, some of you won't. We'll pull to see, like in this reading, what it'll be, but it's really not important because it's a collective reading. So, we're just going to pull right there. And it's like, I feel like you're gonna give this person a chance and within a few weeks, no less. Okay, that's what I feel like because the situation or event in question will develop and unfold, where it's like you're gonna have that opportunity. It's not like you're not going to say anything to this person. You are going to say, but it's the way, like, you're like first class. And so it's like you're going to have like a sharp tongue. You are going to be like very, like, direct, clear cut. Okay. So it's going to be a little bit of an intense, uh, when this person confronts you. I'm not going to lie because you're going to be very direct and tell this person exactly what they did and how they did it and all that. But I feel like you're going to just have very strict boundaries. But you're going to let this person back in, but they're going to have boundaries. They're going to hate those boundaries, but it's almost like you want to see whether this person really can commit to you, okay? Because you know that there's a spiritual energy, that's this invincible spiritual power between you and this person, okay? And so what you want to see is faithfulness. You want to see commitment. And so, and the only way that you would be able to do that is by letting this person back in, but to have boundaries. So that's the grace. Are they going to be happy with that? No, but they're going to take it because it's the other no other option that they can have. And that's in this story. Some of you again are going to be like, no, I'm not. And some of you guys are just going to say yes. But if you do it with balance, like this person wants to be a better person. It's almost like they had to go through all that in order to like know exactly what they wanted. And that's, and and everyone would know why you would be angry with that. This person was very selfish. So, it's going to take a lot for you to really like forgive this person also if you do let them back in. You like it, don't just take them back if you really can't forgive them, because you just make your situation worse. You have kind of have to look at it like, yeah, they went through all that. They always knew that it was me, but they went through all that to only come back to me. But I didn't care because I was over here and I was doing this and I was creating that. And you have to, again, kind of look at it like that if you're going to be with this person. All right, so we see why you attach to this person. First card out is naive, neglect, innocence, protection, laughter, and kind of shuffle. Oh, sorry, kind of shuffle. All right, and, uh, abandonment. So let's see, one, two, three, four, five, six. That's what I thought. Six. And then we're gonna pull three from this deck. No, four. Pull four. Pull four. Okay, let's see what those four are. Boundless energy, soul's calling, facing fears, and hearts aligned. All right, so let's see. The inner child wound that this person awakened really was obviously the neglect and abandonment because this person didn't give anything and it ruined the innocence. Well, I feel like you grew up in an environment where you were neglected, there was abandonment, that no one was there emotionally, psychologically, maybe they were there physically, but they weren't there for you, guiding you, protecting you. And why I say protection? Because you got protection. You can't see, but that's it says protection. Card's green screen. So it's protection. So again, when parents make us feel safe, make us feel loved, they're guiding us. Again, you didn't feel that way. So again, that ruined it really, like I said, like suppressed you, ruined the innocence. And I feel like children are usually naive, but I don't feel like that was the case with you. I feel like you grew up in kind of survival and survival because there was nobody. You might have had parents, but they were not nurturing in what whatever you needed. And so understand trauma, it only needs to be traumatic to the person that went through the experience. So you may say, well, that's not traumatic. But if you were somebody that was sensitive, or you were an only child, or you had maybe a bullying sister or brother, understand you didn't feel safe. So it's the perception of the child. If a dad isn't warm, if a dad doesn't express their love, if a dad, is an alcoholic, whatever, they take it out on themselves. It's their perception, that I wasn't loved because their perception of what love is something that is completely different of how the father showed love. It's not that there wasn't love. It's just that sometimes without that real feeling and that real connection, we can feel that it's not there, and that's traumatic to somebody. It's again, but here, it's obviously neglected. It's you were forgotten about. Your needs weren't met. That's what that means. So I feel like psychologically, that meant to you as a child that you were not deserving. Again, obviously, neglect and abandonment is that. And so it would obviously ruin the innocence. You're the innocence of, hey, of the relationship, really of seeing your mom and dad as perfect because children are innocent. They're naive. That they're supposed to be that way. They're supposed to be silly. They're supposed to be imaginative. They're supposed to be. It's but it kind of damaged it because at such a young age you had to figure it out on your own. And so that made you feel like abandoned. And that's what this person did, which is kind of important here. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you and this person always had an ESP connection. There was always a strong connection. And you can get lost in that if it's too much like fantasy, So this person sabotaged that fantasy. They ruin the innocence of the connection because what you see is that this person did not have any problem hurting you. And we tend to think that our person would never, could never. So right away, right in the beginning of the relationship, that's what this person did. And so you're being asked to forgive this person right out of the gate. And I think that that's really hard because, again, you've already been neglected and abandoned, and that this person only cared about themselves. What they did was deliberate, and they thought that it was okay. They didn't check in with you. So it's really going to depend on like collectively where you guys stand with it. But in this story, it's like the person takes them back, but it's almost like I take you back, but you're like punished. And this is the way I'm going to take you back. Take it or leave it. And it's with extreme boundaries. And like I said, because this person was not trustworthy and they have to earn their trust back. They actually have to start from the very beginning, almost like they never met you before. And that's what they don't like. There's a part of this person that would love to just come back and pick it up where they left off. And you're going to be like, absolutely not. It's like, I don't know you because you don't, for you to have treated me that way, you clearly don't know who I am. So no, you won't let them do that. And that's so they have to also be humble. They also have to like work for it. And that this person has a closed heart chakra. So, they think that they're getting over, but really this person is afraid and stingy and all those things that need healing. So it doesn't mean that they're healed. It means that you're holding the boundary to this person. And and you may say, well, why? And it's because if you were neglected, you would probably be somebody, if you were neglected and abandoned, you're not somebody that speaks up for everything that you need is in this story is what Spirit's saying. Like you need to be clear on what you want. You need to be clear on on being present and being grounded and what you're allowing in your life, not just overgiving and overdoing and pleasing people, because that's normally people that are abandoned tend to do that. They give too much. They give too much and they abandon themselves because they think that they're going to get that love outside. But again, you didn't do that, and Spirit saying, well, guess what? When they come back, they're not changed. You'll have to do it again. It's like, and eventually they obviously realize like that that you're not going to abandon yourself, and they have to hold to a certain level, and that level is it's a equal give and take reciprocity. But when a person hasn't had to do it, they almost feel like it feels wrong. The same way that if you had someone that gave to you all the time and then all of a sudden they stopped, you would actually feel like that was wrong. Where really Spirit's saying like the energy needs to balance out, where, you know, it's not codependent, where this person creates codependent, and maybe you wound up in codependent relationships too in the past. And Spirit's saying, I need to balance it out. So right from the get-go that happened. So it's all about really, right here, it tells us all aligning your actions with your heart's true desires, follow your passion. So you and this person are getting aligned. And the reason why is because you both face your fears, but this person does face their fear about what the relationship is going to be because I feel like you're not codependent. You're again on your soul's path. It's again, and you are always aligning your actions with your values. And because of that, you have again a lot of energy, and that energy is to help you create and to find yourself. And so I feel like you've learned that a relationship isn't codependent, that, it's very important for you to have your own time and energy, and that you're the main person that fills your glass up to make sure that you're emotionally fulfilled. You taught this person that. It's like they wasted a lot of time. They saw a lot of people, they were with a lot of people too, that what they see is waste their time. And so, this person sees the difference between you and them. And you're someone that actually gives this person energy because you're someone that like is always doing things to fulfill yourself, that you have your cup is like almost overflowing. So in that you teach this person, but Spirit's saying it's for you to learn how to do this still while you're in a relationship. And what you see is that this person is not 100% healed. So I don't feel like it's always going to be that easy. But if there's real unconditional love, and this seems to be a soul's connection, like a divine connection, well, I feel that it's divine brought you together to help each other. Okay, and we leave off with one more message, and that is the path to light. So again, that's why Spirit brought this person into your life and you into their life. And so Spirit says, make the conscious choice to move towards the light one step at a time. Transform your weaknesses into strengths by mastering your thoughts. Very difficult when you're in a relationship and you have spiritual wounds and you're used to being codependent. It's a lot easier said than done. So would take a lot of love to heal this, because it's healing your wounds, it's healing this person's wounds. And I feel like because they went out and they were with all those people, they didn't feel really fulfilled or anything. So again, Spirit says, transform your weaknesses into strengths by mastering your thoughts, overcome obstacles with positivity and acceptance, and develop your gifts and extend your light to every being unconditionally. So you're learning unconditional love with this person. That's the number one person that you are, but it's also through mastering yourself. So it's almost like Spirit bringing you this person into your life because, hey, they're ready to actually do the work. So you need to, again, hold to a certain standard again. And so when you hold to a certain standard, this person can't really, they're not going to do anything because there is unconditional love for you. But you have to see yourself as the strong one. You have to see yourself as the person that that Spirit is bringing this person into your life to help you possibly set boundaries, become strong, to not waver in what you believe in, and to like be able to still feel whole and then also be in a connection, again, and to learn to be compassionate and forgiving because this person's not on your vibration, they're a little bit lower. Remember, they're willing to do the work. So it's again by them actually integrating the spiritual lessons and embodying that new consciousness and living a new way. That's when they get to your energy. But they don't just do that on their own. It's only through unconditional love that that can happen. So this is a divine connection. And it is, again, here to help you heal, to teach you to align yourself fully, because there is love here. However, love is patient, love is kind, and so you're not dealing with a perfect person. I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.